Hello, everyone, and welcome to this audio podcast. This audio podcast is part of the series "The Storm Solar." This audio podcast is part of the series, the Stellular Impeach. This audio podcast series as part of a chartered and evidence-based series, and audio podcast as part of the Rupture feature, and this audio podcast series as part of another Storm Robotics production. In this audio podcast, a bit of an intro intro to this to peer-reviewed works, peer-reviewed and published works looking at understanding education for service users aligned to social media platforms. This works this works was had been collaborative between academia between academia and a social media platform, the Renal Patient Support Group, or the RPSG. So a bit of intro into this. So social media has enabled healthcare service users with long-term conditions or long-standing conditions to sort of access supplementary information relating or regarding to in regard to health and illness, including NHS National Health Service information portals, healthcare service user-centric organizations, and several other information-centric modalities. The concern, however, is that despite the sort of advances, albeit sort of technological, or albeit through the internet, etc. Integration between information searching versus knowledge implementation differs between age groups across long-standing conditions. The information available over the internet is also vast, and much of it can be daunting and lead to misinformation and And so basic information for healthcare service users with long-standing conditions still require some attention. The subsequent audio podcast in this series we'll look at the understanding we'll look at the understanding the importance of healthcare education. That draws this intro to a close. This initial intro to this audio podcast to a close. This audio podcast is part of a audio podcast series still on this in around the Storm Solar. This audio podcast is part of a Stellular Impeach. This audio podcast as part of the Rupture feature, and this audio podcast as part of a chartered edition and evidence-based edition. And this audio podcast as part of a Storm Robotics production.